So, good fight, man. Really, really good fight. Ward came with his A game. Kovalov came with his A game. It looked like Kovalov came in good condition. He looked like he was determined to keep Ward off of him. He was doing a lot of the grabbing and the holding in this fight, holding down Ward's head as Ward got ready to charge in to land on the inside to try to establish his jab or to try to string together some combinations. So you had Kovalov ready for that. He wasn't gonna allow Ward to lay on him or whatever the case may be. So he had a game plan in mind to ensure that Ward didn't get inside and try any dirty tactics or things like that. So he was making sure that he was going to hold this guy off. He was determined to do that. His jab was working for him pretty much all night. He stringed together some good combinations. His power shots was landing. He landed some good hooks. He did. He looked pretty solid. And how I had the fight, I didn't watch the fight on HBO. I didn't watch it on Showtime. I watched it on my Fire Stick. Um, I ended up using one of those apps to watch it. So basically, how I had the fight, I had round one. I had both of those guys at tens. I couldn't. I mean, that's the case for most fights anyway, especially in the beginning. So I had both guys with tens in the first round. Second round, I gave to Kovalov. Third round, I gave to Kovalov. So both of those are 10-9s. Mm, let's see. Fourth round, Ward looked like he was putting together a pretty good attack. He was landing his jab. He was landing some pretty solid power shots. Fifth round, I gave to Kovalov. Sixth round was a swing round again. So I gave both of those guys tens. So in reality, I would have Kovalov up by a round. So seventh round, it was pretty. That round was it was pretty sloppy. It was pretty sloppy, but I would have Kovalov up at that point in round seven, and round eight we all know how that ended up playing out. Ward ended up coming back. He looked like for a minute there, it looked like Kovalov was gaining on him. It looked like Kovalov was getting ready to try and put together a sustained attack against Ward, but it Ward ended up landing a two piece on this guy, body shot, then a two piece, and that was pretty much that. So, and it was a TKO. We stopped the fight. I felt that it could have continued had I would say had Kovalov, I guess, had Kovalov shown that he was willing to get back out there. It I think Weeks would have been more. I guess he would have let it go. I guess he would have allowed this guy to catch his breath and get back in there. But from what I saw Kovalov, he couldn't defend himself for a while. He tried to throw some punches back when Ward was coming inside after he had landed the two piece, and Ward landed a body shot right after that. It was a good one, and he was hurt, man. I mean, he was hurt, Kovalov, and he couldn't. He was backing up. He was going into the ropes. He was just kind of, trying to get out of the way. It was more so him just trying to get out of the way. He didn't look coherent to me at that point. So, I mean, was the stoppage extreme? It was kind of in between. It was kind of in between. I was looking for him to allow Kovalov to continue, maybe ask him, or are you going to continue? If he did, I didn't see it. I didn't see that part. Maybe somebody else saw it. They caught it. You guys can tell me because I'm I really don't know. I was caught up in that moment, and lost track of what Weeks was doing outside of just seeing him wave his hand off. I was waiting on him to go in and wave his hand. I knew he was gonna do it. He was standing by, and I was looking at Kovalev. I was just trying to watch Kovalev to see if he was gonna grab Andre Ward a little bit more than he did, which he did, and Ward ended up going more to the body. Some of those shots, I'm not gonna lie, from the angle that they showed it in, it looked like Ward was going below the belt a little bit. It did look like he was going below the belt. The first few shots that he gave Kovalev were kind of borderline. They were on right on the belt. So I can't just sit here and say, oh, well, he was giving him low blows all night. He was giving him low blows all night. I'm not going to sit here and be that guy. But I will say after Ward hit him with the two-piece and the body shot and Kovalev started going towards the ropes, that camera angle was a bad angle. I couldn't see if Ward was hitting him in his stomach because Kovalev was kind of crouched over. He was slumped over, and Weeks was in the way of the camera. So I couldn't really see how low he was going, but I could see that he had his arm cuffed all the way. It was cuffed, but it wasn't cuffed all the way in like this. It was cuffed out about like that. It was a half C. It wasn't a full C. A full C is you really curled up and you dug in and you got in there. Wow. You got in his gut. But when you got the half C, you being prevented from getting where you're trying to go. So where was those punches going at that point? They looked low to me. It looked low. So I don't know what to say about that. However, I do agree with the stoppage because in my mind, Kovalev couldn't defend himself while he was up against the ropes. He wasn't doing much to keep Ward off of him other than being crouched over. And like I said before, Weeks could have separated him at that point and asked Kovalev if he was okay and just let him know that he was getting ready to stop the fight. If you can't defend yourself, I'm getting ready to stop this fight. But all in the same breath, you don't want to get in there and do that in the midst of a moment where this guy has the momentum, he's winning, and he has this guy hurt. Even though Ward was tired, he leaned on Kovalev after he tried to sustain attack. When he knew he had him hurt, he was out of gas himself. So he was leaning up against him, and then that's when the body tag ensued, and we couldn't really see if it was super low or not. But at the end of the day, it was a good fight. Congratulations to Ward and his camp. Congratulations to all the Ward fans out there, everybody that called it, whoever called a stoppage. Hey man, all power to you guys because I didn't call a stoppage. I called a majority decision. I thought it would go the distance. I felt that Ward needed something like this in the fight, but I never stated that. But I really felt that he needed a statement fight, and he got it tonight. He got it. I would say that he did land that two-piece, really a three-piece, because he hit him with the two-piece, and then he went to the body, or maybe it was the body and then the two-piece. But he did have Kovalev hurt. We've never seen Kovalev like that. I mean, I haven't seen him like that. And Ward did what he had to do in this fight. Could he have put him away if Weeks wouldn't have stopped it? I don't know. It didn't. He looked tired to me. Maybe he would have came out in round 9 and found a way to get Kovalev out of there. But it didn't look like he had enough to put Kovalev down. Kovalev would have had to have been willing to go down, and it didn't look like he was willing to go down. But he couldn't defend himself either, and that's what I saw. Anyway, man, this video is too long. Once again, congratulations to all the Ward fans and Ward for pulling off this victory, and I'm happy for the guy. Peace.